Weird.
We can't all make declarations of hatred at the same time. Hi, everybody.
There are dozens of us. Dozens!
你好中国，比较吸纳，我爱更尊重中。Shield up. There's nothing sacred.
Oh, wait a Alson, help me up onto his casket so I can dance on it.
I don't care.
But how did you ever find us?
Oh, easy. We just read the screenplay you left us.
And Hispanic people, too.
Oh, God! Oh, God! Oh, God!
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
I'll help you. Everything is sexist. Everything is racist. Everything is homophobic. And you have to point it all out.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
Huh? Zappuccino.
All right. It is Thursday night in Tooney Town, and that can only mean one thing. It is time for my favorite night of the week, guys, because it is time for Tooney Talk TV. Folks, my name is Marvin, and I am the Movie Monster, and it has been a wild and crazy day to be someone who works in entertainment news, because there has been lots of entertainment news today. From activists melting down over casting rumors that were never real to begin with, to right before we went on the air, CBS canceling Late Night with Stephen Colbert. So we got a lot to talk about tonight, but I can't do it alone. I need the greatest team in pop culture here by my side for this. I need the Tooney Town Titans.
Titans, go!
Kevin Apollo, my friend. Oh my goodness, it has been a weird day.
Oh, it's been a day.
Can I just point out? As soon as you and Lorne are set to take on late night, a brand new late night show, CBS is like, you know what? We cannot compete with this. We're out. Even though it's only 2 nights a week, get rid of this guy with the weird ear. Just get him out. We can't handle it. Lorne and Apollo.
The whiny weirdos lecturing everybody ruined late night. We're bringing it back, though, baby. We're bringing it back.
I would like to see Lorne do monologues, though. Unfortunately, to all the Trissionaries out there, Trish is having technical difficulties tonight. She is not able to join us. But, and as is always the case when that happens, there's Harry Potter stuff to discuss tonight. So it's just Trish's lot in life. Martin Stone is here, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Martin Stone.
Hey, Marv. Hey, Kev.
Glad
to see the board is being set for you guys.
Yeah, seriously. They're all taking their pieces off the board. It's just going to be Gutfeld, Lorne, and Apollo by the time we're...
It's amazing. CBS looks at late night and the numbers collapsing and says to themselves, no, it's not the people we have doing it. It's that the entire... mechanism doesn't work anymore. We just get
and that's the thing that we're going to talk about is that like they're not just replacing him as the host, they're scrapping late night. Like they are taking the show that David Letterman built when he didn't get the Tonight Show, and they are just completely erasing it. Decades of television history just flushed down the Pichadou because Stephen Colbert couldn't control himself.
Well, then I will save my other comments for later.
You've known me for 20 years, and you're just learning that I'm a guinea.
Can you say that on YouTube?
Well, it's his word. He can say it.
I could be talking about a guinea pig.
Yeah, that's true.
Or a guinea hen.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the origin of that phrase.
Is it really? Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I've
I guess that makes sense. Nolan Thunder is here. Hello, Nolan Thunder.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we having a good night?
Oh, it's a crazy night. Is what it is. I mean, you know, and Nolan, we covered earlier today. Something you're going to be probably covered on that gameplay. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot made his son the CEO of the new Ubisoft entity.
Hey, he totally.
Are you serious?
Yes, his son, fresh off of a failed NFT scam. Fresh off of losing all of his money trying to sell NFTs, is now the CEO of this new Ubisoft entity that is supposed to house Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. And of course, like all Nepo babies, he was like, it's not about what my name is, but what we can accomplish together in the industry. It's so bad. It's so terrible. But you know, here we as the Ubisoft turns. So I'm sure you're gonna have a lot to say about that on that gameplay this weekend.
Definitely good, sir. It's gonna be Saturday. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you.
So we are a veritable four horsemen tonight because Lauren is not able to make it, nor is Trish. So we are a fantastic four. One might say.
Don't make me Pedro, please.
No, unfortunately, I think I probably have to be Pedro in this situation. Ugh.
Marvin, fantastic.
Well, it's very clear that you were the Thing.
I could be Herbie the Robot.
No, that's Martin.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, we're the cartoon version where the Human Torch was not included. Remember? Because they thought that kids were actually going to light themselves on fire if they watched the Human Torch. So they replaced him with Herbie the Robot.
To be fair, was after the Superman issue of kids throwing themselves out of windows.
Oh, yeah. I guess that's true. Yeah, man. I don't know who was dumber. Those people are the ones that started eating Tide Pods. I don't know. Nolan, you were one of them, right?
I will not confirm or deny.
It was your generation.
The Tide Pods, they had access to more information. It was a simpler, more innocent time.
All right, guys. So much to discuss tonight. But before we get into that, we have a little before we get to that, we got to talk to our good friends from around the world. Because, guys, this is a show made for you, and it is funded by you. We count on your generous super chats to keep the lights on around here. We do take breaks in between topics to read your super chats aloud, and we will break for super chats of $50 or more. That means a $50 super chat or more, or a gift of 10 memberships to the Tooney Town TV channel, which Regina Sharp has just done, gifting 10 Tooney Town TV memberships. Thank you so much, Regina Sharp, putting us on the board for tonight. But Regina Sharp also with the $5 says, couldn't come up with a good joke tonight. So instead, a simple, ordinary...
Glom gold! Glom gold! Glom gold! Glom gold!
Look, I love your new stuff, Regina, but every once in a while, you got to hear the classics. Like, that's your free bird.
Hopefully she finds a way to quote the part again.
Yeah. I know that earned your love forever.
I loved it before that, but that was what's one of my favorite Picard quotes because it was just a weird episode because he was actually being nice and friendly and laughing with the crew. So.
Yeah. XJ Cherokee Bear for $5 says, to Colbert serves you right. You know, we're going to go into it. It will be our first story that we talk about. And then later on tonight, Kevin and I are going to be joining Pro over on the WW Pro channel to discuss this as well in kind of a breaking news live stream. So that's going to be right after we end here. We will probably redirect into the pro show at the end of the night. So you and Kimia for $5 says Trish is greater than Glomgold, and Glomgold is greater than Colbert, which means Trish is way greater than Colbert, I guess. John Williams for $4.99 says over 15 minutes late. That's the legal walkout time. This is Nolan's fault. No, it's to be honest, guys, it's Stephen Colbert's fault. So you can blame him. Maddie for $1.99, power to the $1.99. Says, I hear Joe Pesci is the new surprise Voldemort. Yeah, that is the thing. So they are saying that and I wanted to wait. I'm going to wait till Trish is here for us to fully talk about this. But they are saying that they have cast Voldemort, but they're not announcing it because they want him to just show up and be a surprise, which means he's someone that we know. Yeah. It means they didn't cast an unknown to be Voldemort.
I like the idea of Pesci as Voldemort. I like it better as Harry. Like Hagrid comes in, you're a wizard, Harry. And, what do you mean I'm a wizard? Like what? I'm here to do magic for you?
What, a wizard? Like I'm going to pull a rabbit out of a hat? Like I'm here to amuse you?
That's it! With the stars on it!
When I finally saw Goodfellas as an adult, I finally understood the good feathers.
Yes,
from Animaniacs, which is a thing that no kid should get, by the way, because no kid should be watching the Goodfellas because it is very much not appropriate. But when I finally saw that, I was like, "Oh, that makes this so much funnier." My favorite is when he would attack him, and you just hear him go, "Pasta Vazul!" That's it.
That's it.
Every episode, the same jokes, and we laughed every time. Oh, my goodness.
The KISS method, keep it simple, stupid.
Mm-hmm. That black bear for $5 is at Kevin Apollo's house where black bears and grizzly bears eat garbage. And at Kevin Apollo's house where black bears and grizzly bears eat garbage. And panda bears too.
You know, here at the lodge.
Yeah, I think we have to. I think we got to play it.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people, too.
Wait, are you saying at the lodge where you're working, where you're stationed for like a couple weeks, that everything is bear?
Everything is bears. The logo, there's pictures. I get a good kick out of it. I got here, felt like I was being threatened.
That's what our audience. But maybe that's why they sent you, because they were like, if there's one man that can clean this up. Sean, the artist formerly known as John C, for $1.99 says, honor Robo Walt. Use the promo code Dr. John at MyPillow. Oh my gosh, that robotic Walt Disney, that Walt Disney auto animatronic, the stuff that nightmares are made of. I absolutely hate it. But all right, so guys, we like to start every episode, and we will get to more of your super chats in between, news stories, guys. So make sure you keep them coming. But we are going to start with a little segment we have to call "What Are We Watching?" This also includes what we're playing video game wise. So Nolan Thunder, what are you watching
right now? I had something extremely interesting, but I was not expecting to be the first one to go to actually think about it. So, Kevin, you go first.
Kevin Apollo, what are you watching? Are you watching anything? Because you've been so busy.
Yeah, not really. I got here and I asked them to put a Pluto TV on one of the rooms. So, in the room that I sleep in, it's just been streaming Star Trek: The Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine.
Fantastic.
I'm not actually watching it. It's just. It's like my therapy dog. It's just on to soothe me so I can go to sleep.
I don't know what. I've been watching a lot of Family Guy the last week because it's just like what I put on in the background a lot of times. And when you said therapy dog, all I could think of was comedy dog. It's like, oh, we got us a comedy dog here. Are you Kathy Griffin? Because I'm not laughing. So maybe you are Kathy Griffin. maybe you're that comedy dog with Robert Smigel's hand up your backside. Well, let me tell you something, comedy dog. You're here for me to poop on. Some episodes of that show, and look, you can watch Family Guy by just going on YouTube and watching compilations, because Family Guy is just a string of unconnected jokes. So if that's all you want, then, go for it. Martin Stone, what are you watching?
I am watching the Fourth Doctor's last season. My wife and I have been going through that. We decided to do the whole series in chronological order, and this week we've been doing the Fourth Doctor's last season.
It's amazing that because he was getting old and his body was hurting, and that's why he wasn't able to continue on, right? Because that's what people say. How old was Sean Pertwee at the?
No, that's the Third Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking Fourth Doctor. You're watching Tom Baker. Oh, you've been watching for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mark.
No, I'm just saying. Yeah, I've been watching for a long time. Season 18, I think.
7 seasons of him alone. So
he was like a 2-term serving president. But Pertwee really left me after Hidalgo died. He felt like because that was his best friend. The Doctor and the Master were best friends in real life.
Mm-hmm.
So after Hidalgo died, I remember after his I can't remember Joe Grant's real name. He felt like his work family had left, and so he decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Better than being a 32-year-old who's like, I'm getting old.
My knees are hurting. I'm 32.
Yeah. I'm sure your knees are hurting with Russell T Davies as the showrunner. Anyway,
we are going to talk.
We are going to talk. Well, you know what? I'll make it our first story. We'll hold off on Colbert. I'll make that our first story. Nolan Thunder. What are you watching / playing?
So I've been exponentially busy lately, but when I've had some free time, I was actually watching a little bit of Batman and Mr. Freeze Sub-Zero last night. If any of you have seen that one, classic from the animated series. Last film before they did the big animation change for the new Batman Adventures, and looking back, I'm just like, everything's just so perfect about that iteration of Mr. Freeze. He's tragic. He has that ominous, almost deadpan voice, but yet still so emotional. Like, the writing was just top notch on that, and what a film! What a film!
That Mr. Freeze. I mean, look, Heart of Ice is the greatest episode of Batman the Animated Series in my opinion. Even better than Over the Edge. Those are my two tops. But Heart of Ice,
Agreed.
The Mr. Freeze episode, at the end when he's sitting in the jail cell, they tried to recreate it in Batman and Robin, and of course it didn't work. It's like, what warm hand waits for mine. Oh, so good. So if you think about like how they took Mr. Freeze, who was like a Adam West era villain that was just like basically what they turned him into with Arnold, a gag villain essentially, and they turned him into this Shakespearean tragedy. Just absolutely incredible what they did with that.
Yeah. I always thought that Batman relaunch they did, that they put it in the 1930s and they turned the Penguin into they gender swapped the Penguin. I always thought they should have reached back into the old Adam Smith show and is it Ma Baker?
Yeah.
Like plucked her out and redefined her character. But no, they decided Oswaldo Cobblepot.
Oswaldo Cobblepot. You didn't even try. You just put an A at the end of his name. That's like being, guys, look, this new character, Kevin Apollo.
It's kind of like when a white guy's trying to talk with somebody in Mexico, and they're like, "I want a soda o."
El Sodo.
Comprehende soda and nachos.
I saw a thing the other day where it was like, who was the best Riddler? And it was Gorshin and Jim Carrey and the guy from Gotham and the guy from the Batman. And I'm like, are we having this conversation?
Why
anyone who answers anything but Frank Gorshin, what are you thinking?
There is John Aston. who was
Oh,
the
yeah,
follower.
there's
of
this
Gorsh.
one John Aston episode. 2 episodes. But why is the YouTuber even on that list?
Yeah, the YouTuber, is that what you call?
Well, yeah,
is that what you call the Batman one?
Yes, I mean it's better than it's better than Autistic Riddler.
Oh, I called him Incel Riddler.
Yeah, well, that's what he was. But I mean, Gorshin, I love the way when he would I like the way he would wind up into his lines. I've been in this town so long, I give, and he'd do that little laugh at the end, so good. Mark Hamill actually pulled from that when he played Sea Knocker in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. If you actually listen to him, oh yeah, he I forget. Oh, what is the? He's like, and now you're going to have to deal with Sea Knocker. And of course, he doesn't say C, but I can't say the actual name. Why do they call you Sea Knocker? Funny story. Actually, you're gonna love this. I love
a doodle-doo knocker. A doodle-doo knocker.
Just got hit in the balls by some guy named Doodle Doo Knocker. Look, Sean, artist formerly known as JC in the chat, says Robin Williams would have been the greatest Riddler. That he would have been great. That almost happened, right?
Yes, twice. They used Robin Williams as a mechanism to force Jack Nicholson to sign his contract to be the Joker.
Oh.
And then Robin Williams was really upset. So they promised him that he would get to be the Riddler. And then when Tim Burton left, or was asked to leave, Robin Williams was like, "Ugh, enough! I don't like dealing with you people." This also cost us Robin Williams being on an episode of Next Generation because this all took so long.
Really?
What was he supposed to do on Next Gen?
He was supposed to be. Remember the episode with the time traveler the guy who comes from the future?
I do remember that now. Yeah,
that
was Max Headroom instead.
Yes, that episode was written specifically for Robin Williams.
Interesting. What we could have gotten with Robin Williams. He would have been a great Riddler. I mean, Jim Carrey's Riddler was just Ace Ventura as the Riddler.
Yes.
When I was a kid, though, I didn't care because I was a kid and I didn't know any better, and I liked Ace Ventura.
But listen, I'll even say it was. I was an early teen. It is an awesome, terrible movie.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. They just did it on the Genre Guys, actually, and Lauren hated it.
My favorite part is when the movie starts. After we get past the thirsty Chase Meridian lusting over Batman, the guy who's in the background just goes, "Batman!
Batman! Batman!" Even as a kid, I was like, "What's with that guy?"
The guy who made Falling Down made this movie. What?
By the way, Val Kilmer, may he rest in peace, played an amazing Batman, but he played Bruce Wayne the exact same way that he played Batman. Exactly the same. And yes, I agree. They said Robin Williams, Javier Kell said Robin Williams was a good Popeye. He was a good Popeye. Dave Coulier should have been Popeye, though. Let's be real.
That movie was insane.
Yeah, it really is.
And the I've recently seen a bunch of stories about the production. Illicit substances being smuggled onto the island in film canisters.
I'm sure.
Oh my god!
Everyone was on some sort of inebriant constantly.
You're talking to. I was a huge Popeye fan as a kid. I ate spinach because of Popeye, cooked disgusting from a canned spinach.
Oh, you monster!
It had Popeye on the can. It still does. It still does. And I'm going to tell you something. I was in the supermarket recently, and I saw a can of Popeye spinach, and I almost bought it. That's how much I still love Popeye. Juice? I don't remember that.
Yeah, Donald Duck was on concentrated orange juice, frozen orange juice.
Well, I mean, I think the greatest was Slimer Ecto Cooler, though.
Oh,
I was about to say, can't top that one.
Yeah.
Slimer Ecto Cooler was good. What else? Flintstones Push Pops.
Oh, that's a throwback.
You were a zygote when those existed. What are you talking about?
I had it at the gas station, bro. I was really young, but I had it.
Those defined my summer.
That and those basically just sugary water colored tubes of frozen.
Remember we brought that up a few weeks ago, and Lauren had one.
Oh no, I'm not talking about the barrels. I'm talking about those plastic the
ice pops.
Yeah, and I still get those for my kids. They love them. But...
Yeah, I get them at the beginning of usually every summer. I didn't get it this summer because we were moving, but man, now I should.
And grape and blue were the best ones. Just saying.
Blue was the best one. Grape was all right, but yeah. And then like at the end where like you have that little bit of like liquid still in the thing, and you get a drink after. Yeah, it's
when I was young, there was one time where I got like a bunch of those, and I would like pour. I had like 2 or 3 of them at once, and I'd pour the liquid from one of the ones I finished off, so I'd have like a Kool-Aid contraption and just drink it out of the tube.
Man alive. All right, so what I'm watching, we caught up on the Gilded Age. So now we're week to week on the Gilded Age. So that's still happening, but slower now. Still watching The Sopranos. We just got to we got to my least favorite episode today, and like it's an episode that always like deeply disturbs me. It's the one where Dr. Melfi gets graped in the parking garage. I hate that episode. I hate it with everything that I am.
Going back to the grape popsicle.
Yes. But anyway, I digress. But I've been getting really into like Sopranos like analysis videos on YouTube lately. Like it talks about like just like how many like different things, like especially about like the ending. And now that I've watched these videos, I'm 100% certain that Tony dies at the end of The Sopranos. This would be a great conversation if any of you watched The Sopranos.
I will admit I watched a little. I couldn't really get into the series just because I just couldn't. But I remember an episode where he speculates that when you die, it's just like the world goes black.
Bobby Bacala says that in the last season.
Okay.
He says to him, I bet you don't even hear the one that gets you. And then there's a episode where Christopher gets shot. And when he wakes up, he basically says that he was in hell. And he said, I was told to tell Tony and Paulie 3:00. And then in the later season, Tony gets shot and he's in a coma. And there's this big white house where there's like this family reunion, and they're like beckoning him inside the house. And it's basically like the afterlife. It's going to a death. But then he hears his daughter's voice and he goes the other way and he comes back to life. In this last scene, the guy in the members only jacket goes into the bathroom and he is at Tony's 3:00. And right on the wall next to where he goes into the bathroom is a picture of the house from the coma. So, I mean, David Chase will never say what it was because
he did actually.
Did he? I last I heard he was still being cagey about it.
He kept saying, it ended because it ended. There's nothing to it, and then he finally broke. It's like, fine, he's dead.
Well, to me, it always made sense that he was dead because we were so in Tony's POV in that last scene. And once his consciousness comes to a close, our view into the world comes to a close. So in a way, when I think about it that way, I actually think it's kind of brilliant. Except for the fact that it took him 20 years to actually explain it. And maybe he explained it just because Gandolfini actually died. But yeah, anyway, I digress. Time to get into our first story of the day, guys. We are going to talk a bit about Doctor Who.
Before we do that, because we're talking about Gandolfini, do you know what HBO did to stop him from being a regular in The Office, right?
He was supposed to be a regular on The Office?
He was supposed to be a regular on The Office.
As who?
I don't know. They were just going to make a character for him. He was supposed to come in and be after Michael left, he was supposed to come in and like be a regular. And HBO was like, "You're going to destroy everybody's image of Tony." And he's like, "I'm an actor. Like, I want to do this.
What, am I never going to work again?"
Exactly. He's like, "So I get to do this." Like, but no, if you go do a comedy, you're going to be silly. it's going to really mess everything up. So Gandolfini went, okay, here's the contract they offered me. You're going to pay me the contract plus an additional 25% for everything that I'm going to lose. And HBO turned around and did it and then paid The Office for losing Gandolfini.
That is the most Warner Brothers thing I have ever heard. A situation that doesn't involve them in any way, shape, or form, and they still found a way to lose probably millions of dollars over it. Oh, bravo. Gandolfini's son is really good. And he looks like his a clone of his old man.
Is he still acting? I haven't seen him in anything.
He's in Daredevil Born Again.
Oh, cool. There you go. That's why I haven't seen him.
Yeah, that's why you didn't see it. He's one of the bright spots of that series. He plays like a young intern working in Fisk's office who slowly gets incorporated into the crime world.
Oh, that's Gandolfini's son? Okay.
That's Gandolfini's
I didn't realize
kid.
that. Yeah, I liked him.
Yep. And by the way, guys, whoever the person opening a soda is me. So I needed to take the edge off. Well, it wasn't a soda; it was a beer.
And the typing may have been me. I forgot to mute while I was typing.
All right. So Ncuti Gatwa has claimed that he left Doctor Who because, quote, "I'm getting old and my body was tired." He is 32 years old. Maybe my favorite headline I've ever written. In what has to be one of the most tone-deaf exit interviews in TV history, Ncuti Gatwa, the short-lived and deeply unpopular 15th Doctor on Doctor Who, claimed on BBC's Sunday with Laura Kuenssberg that he stepped away from the role because I'm old and my body was tired. Here, let's hear what he has to say.
Why did you walk away?
Because I'm getting old and my body was tired. My body, with my knee, and I've now just started doing some ballet. So I'm making really great decisions here. It's the most amazing job in the world. It's a job that
you destroyed a 60-year-old show.
To be fair, it was already dead. He just...
It was to the point where they could have brought it back if they had gone back to basics. People were interested enough in the Tennant stuff, and if the Tennant stuff had hit, I think you could have seen it rally. And then we could have just considered Jodie to be a fatal mistake. A near fatal mistake. But
I did like his Christmas episode, though.
Which one?
Ncudi's Christmas episode.
Oh, I honestly, I don't think I watched one episode of him, actually.
Of course, it was written by Moffat. So
of course it was. I watched the Bi Generation, because I watched all the Tennant specials. I saw the Bi Generation and I was like, I'm out. I saw that they wasted the Return of the Ronnie on him. Yeah, the Ronnie had a Bi Generation.
Yeah, the Ronnie had a Bi Generation. It's like, okay, so they were just this thing that never ever happens, just so happened to happen again. It's right. A shame Moffat didn't get a chance to use the actress before she passed away.
I know. So it says he doubled down, saying the role takes a lot of it physically, emotionally, and left the door open for a return with the coy, never say never. You know who's saying never? The BBC. Because they kicked you out the door. The guy's 32. 32 years old. You're still in your prime. I'm old, and come on, man. Like, let's take a look at the ridiculousness of this claim. By the time his second and final season wrapped, he's 32. In the 60-year history of Doctor Who, he is the third youngest actor to ever play the Doctor, behind Matt Smith at 26. And Pete Davidson's at 29 as the Fifth Doctor in 1981. Now, let's contrast that with what?
Peter
Davidson, sorry. William Hartnell was 55 when he kicked off the series. By the way, he aged like milk if he was 55 at the start of that show.
It's a different
People
time.
aged faster back then. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, seriously, go look at a yearbook from the 70s up until I want to say maybe 85.
Mm-hmm.
They all look. All those teenagers look like they are in their mid-20s, maybe early 30s.
Capaldi, though, was also 55, and he looked like an old man.
Well, he had just bushy eyebrows, but he doesn't look nearly as old as Hartnell.
Yeah, William Hartnell. I mean, good Lord. I mean, so if he was 55 when he started, he's 58 when he left when he regenerated?
And he left because of health problems.
Yeah.
And then when they did the Three Doctors, or is it? Yeah, it was the Three Doctors.
Wait, is that the one where he sits the whole time?
Yeah, because they were concerned about his health, and he said he hated that because I can do this. I don't need to just sit in this box.
John Pertwee was 50. Patrick Troughton was 46. Sylvester McCoy was 43, and on. Tom Baker was 40. Colin Baker was 40. Christopher Eccleston was 40, and David Tennant was 34. And when he came back as the 14th Doctor, he was 51. But by the way, David Tennant right here. There is only 4 years separating David Tennant and William Hartnell in this photo.
Well, have you guys ever heard of the Wilford Brimley line?
What is the Wilford Brimley line? I have diabetes?
No, he was in his early 50s when he starred in Cocoon with like Don Amici, who was in his 70s, I think. And he convincingly plays this old guy. So somebody on Twitter back in the day started an account to wish actors a happy birthday on the day they pass the Wilford Brimley line.
Jeez.
You know who else Wilford Brimley does? Craig T. Nelson and John Amos, who coincidentally were friends and roommates. They for years they both played guys that were significantly older than what they actually were.
Huh.
Now Brimley earned it because he got into Hollywood as like a farrier, somebody who shoes horses.
Oh, and by the way, guys, Paul McGann was 36 when he became a doctor. So he was a few years older than Shooty, which means he was probably decrepit, walking with a cane. I mean, not for nothing, he's also one of the most like physically fit doctors of all time. It's like David Tennant was a string bean. Like Matt Smith was in shape, but I mean, like, come on, man. All right. Well, I guess it's let's take a look and see if we have any more super chats that came in. We do have a few. John Williams of 499 says, Batman the Animated Series, Freeze is just cryonic man, but sadder. Down to the sick wife, too. Female Penguin should have just been Sophia Falcone. Probably. Liquid Fox for $5 Canadian says, I always liked Batman the Animated Series Riddler. I thought the voice actor was great. Also, sorry for missing streams lately. Nothing bad, but life being lifing. No problem, Liquid Fox. I'm glad to see you back, buddy. Was worried about you. What do you think about Batman the Animated Series Riddler? I know Deanie, and I think someone said this in the chat too. I know Deanie hated writing for the Riddler. Riddler's got to be the most annoying character to write for. Because of all
you have to think, and so many different points of view when it comes to the Riddler, trying to do elaborate puzzles. What's his philosophy? What's in the mind of Batman? What's going on? How are the crime syndicate going to see him? He is perhaps one of the most complicated villains you can ever write for. And even when one of the greats is saying that he's trouble, you gotta be willing to step up to the plate. And I think that could be a reason why with Hollywood, the Riddler adaptions, from Jim Carrey or even going into the Batman are just so different because no one really has the guts to portray a tried and true Riddler.
Yeah. Well, I will say, whenever someone asks me to tell them, like, if someone's like, hey, what's your favorite riddle? I will just pick one of the ones from Batman Forever because I don't really traffic in riddles. But
that's all men in a boat. All cigarettes.
I've got a take on the Riddler.
How do they smoke?
I'd love to hear your take on the Riddler, Martin.
Well, I was going to say, I gave Kevin and Lauren an idea for their show, and we may do that as a segment sometime if they want to. Just a little pitch for their show.
Okay, sounds awesome. My favorite thing with the Riddler is always that when his motivation is "You're not smarter than me." Like that's always been my favorite version of the Riddler, where he sees Batman solving his riddles and he just gets obsessed with the fact that Batman is smarter than him.
That's a great
part of the
great
beauty
version of
with him is in Batman Arkham Asylum, you know, when you're solving all those Riddler puzzles, just the farther and further you get in the game, he just gets even more deranged and snaps. It is hilarious.
Well, my favorite of those is when he accuses you of going to the internet to look them up.
Yes.
I love the somebody told me a long time ago, and I thought about it. It's very true, and I know I'm not the only person to believe this. It's something a lot of people have said, that Batman's villains they're all a part of him. They all represent some, like the Joker is theatricality, and the Joker is, you know, like obsession, whereas the Scarecrow is fear, where the Penguin is the aristocracy, what Bruce Wayne could have become. The Riddler is him as the detective. It's like each one of them is like a part of him, and you know, like Ra's al Ghul is like what could happen if you go too far. It's fascinating when you actually sit there and you think about like what each villain, Two-Face, the duality of Batman and Bruce Wayne. It's fascinating when you actually sit down and think about it, like what each villain means to him. You know, Catwoman he just wants to have sex with, but
it could be seen as lust, though, unless you want to have Ivy be that.
I mean, Ivy is definitely lust, but John Williams for $4.99. That's true. John Williams for $4.99 says it's because of the monologues. They take up too much screen time. I could see that. Cannon Barnes, member for 6 months, says, "Hey Marvin, Colbert just got canceled. DM'd you. Way ahead of you, Cannon Barnes. That's why the show was late today, because I was writing this article. But we will get to that in 1 second. Walter Tomaszewski for $4.99 says, Gatwa got set up for failure. They wrote him as a soy boy, unlike Captain Jack Harkness, who was a real man, and never gave him a Centauran, Cyberman, or Dalek story.
Listen.
Did they write him as a soy boy, or is he just a soy boy?
He's just a soy boy. And Russell lost his mind. Yeah, I think we talked this a couple weeks ago. The Russell who was writing Torchwood, because once you get out of like the first season, he kind of forgets that Captain Jack is whatever he was, and just predominantly makes him gay. But like he still wrote Captain Jack like a man who just happened to be gay, whereas Shooty was like just like he might as well just been a Hollywood from Mannequin 90% of the time. The only times that I found his Dr. Bearable was in a Moffat episode, and we only got like 4 of those.
I always thought Harkness was less gay and more entirely indiscriminate.
Yes, yeah. Captain Jack will do anything.
Yes, Russell forgets that in the later seasons of Torchwood.
You know, I remember how angry you were when the Face of Bo reveal got spoiled for me.
Oh, yeah, I was super annoyed with that.
Yeah. No, but the worst was the way River Song got spoiled for me. I saw a meme that said, "Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but you're my husband, and I'm their baby." And I went, no, that can't be the way I find out. Sure enough, it was.
Not like this.
Not like this.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh man. Oh no. Guys, hold on 1 second. The surprise appearance of Prodigal Son returns.
My brain is melted, but I'm here.
You look fried, man.
Lauren, if you need to drop out, buddy, you just let me know. But man, I'm happy to see you tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be staying for long, but I had to get away from the studying, so
we are happy to be your distraction.
How y'all doing?
Good. We were just talking about a concept that I wanted to get your opinion on, because we were talking about Batman and saying how Batman's villains, each of them is like a part of an aspect of his personality. Two-Face being duality, the Penguin being aristocracy and wealth, the Riddler being the detective, Joker being theatricality. And I wanted to see if you had ever thought about that.
I've heard people talk about it before. I'm not as fond of that theory as I am about others, although it does work as a framework for discussing the character and how. I mean, that lends itself more to the idea of Bruce locked into Arkham himself, I think, and having the fantasy life as he's in a straitjacket, laying in a cell, drooling about all of these different aspects of his own personality that he's trying to integrate. That could be interesting as an intellectual exercise, but I prefer my Batman to be real.
That was actually one of the things I actually didn't like about the Batman was that they made his mom an Arkham who had been committed.
Yeah,
that's been a more recent development where
wasn't that an Earth One? Wasn't that an Earth One?
It came from Earth One, but I think it also partially stems from. I mean, it depends on how far back you want to go. You could look at it as being part of the Arkham Asylum story through Jeremiah Arkham. But that goes back also to Shadow of the Bat, if you want to go all the way back there. The premiere issue of Shadow of the Bat involved Batman being incarcerated in Arkham Asylum and coming to understand that the Arkham family itself is not well, and so they've kind of carried that storyline down for a while. In Earth One is when they connected Martha to the Arkhams.
Why'd you say that name?
Yeah.
Can we stop for a second and celebrate Teen Titans Go for making fun of that?
Yes, look. There are many reasons to celebrate Teen Titans Go. I don't understand people that don't like that show. I'm like what problem do you have with like joy? Like
the reason people hated it a lot was because of how good the original was, and it used the old art style and all that. People wanted to see that kind of serious tone return. And when they had the comedy come out, amongst a lot of other poor decisions Cartoon Network was making at the time, unfortunately, a show that was actually a pretty decent kid show kind of got lost in that mess.
No, I agree, but at the same time, a miraculous thing happened because of Teen Titans Go. I have a cousin who is not a comic book person at all. She has never talked about a superhero in her life. She has a daughter who at the time was maybe 6 years old. And I said to her, "Oh, what's your daughter going to be for Halloween?" She goes, "Oh, Raven." And I said, "Who?" And she goes, "Oh, Raven from Teen Titans." I was like, if you gave me 10 guesses, I wouldn't have guessed that's the Raven you were talking about. Like, I would have gone with "That's so Raven" before that. Like, I couldn't believe that she knew who Raven was. And I was just like, wow, this show is actually helping to create like comic book fans. But I mean, we watch like it's one of my shows that I just kind of like put on, like just things like the Poop Suitcase. Like, come on, man, how do you not like laugh at the Poop Suitcase?
Based Robin teaching you how money and real estate works.
That was
how insurance works.
The
Titans Go. The what?
Martin? The Goonies episode where he made them do the booty scooting and wouldn't let them fight the octopus.
There was when I first started doing wrestling shows, there was this kid who he was good enough, but he just kind of in terrible shape. So I wrote a whole storyline where there was going to be a bunch of bad guys who were making fun of him. And they were going to call him Waffles. And I was like, you just need to lean into it. And then I need you to start singing Waffles. And I was going to play the Waffle song from Teen Titans.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Waffles.
To this day, my favorite my favorite what do you call it? Teen Titans Go gag was when it was from the movie with the bathroom, where it's like, we pooped in the toilet, and like at first it's Beast Boy and it's Cyborg, and you're like, oh, that's kind of funny. But then when Starfire comes out of the bathroom and she goes, oh, there was nothing like doing the poops in the new toilet, I lost it, like tears streaming down my face. I also love how like sometimes in the episodes will end with them all dying.
Yes.
What?
Well, like that Christmas episode.
There's an episode where Raven turns them all into old people.
Salty Codgers.
Yeah, she turns them all into old people because these old people are adorable, and then they all die in the end.
I see the Beetlejuice episode.
Oh my gosh, so good.
I love that Weird Al was Dark Side.
Yes. All right. So a big breaking story here tonight, guys. CBS cancels Stephen Colbert after late night meltdown over Trump Paramount settlement. Now, the network has cited financial concerns as the reason for it, but the timing is suspicious. Now, in a move that has sent shockwaves through the late night television landscape, CBS has canceled The Late Show with Stephen Colbert and have confirmed that the show will conclude its run in May 2026, marking the end of an era for one of broadcast TV's longest standing franchises. There you see Stephen Colbert dancing with a bunch of syringes. The network cited purely financial decisions and the challenging backdrop in late night as the primary reason for the cancellation, emphasizing that the decision is unrelated to the show's content or performance. Now, I would think a purely financial decision in the challenging backdrop of late night has everything to do with the show's performance. But,
No, it's just that people don't watch TV at night when they're going to bed.
Yeah. Announcement comes at a time when late night programming is facing unprecedented headwinds, including declining viewership and shifting audience habits in the streaming era. However, the timing, mere days after Colbert publicly lambasted his parent company Paramount Global for settling a lawsuit with President Donald Trump, has fueled speculation about deeper motivations. The Late Show franchise, which originated with David Letterman in 1993 and transitioned to Colbert in 2015, has been a staple of CBS's lineup for over 3 decades. In a joint statement, CBS executives praised Colbert as irreplaceable, noting that the network will retire the franchise entirely rather than seek a replacement host, because he's just so irreplaceable. It's not because he killed the entire show and there's no way forward. It's because he's so irreplaceable, right?
So Letterman was replaceable, but Colbert's not.
Apparently, David Letterman we could replace. Stephen Colbert, though, we can't. So they said, we are proud that Stephen called CBS home. He and the broadcast will be remembered in the pantheon of greats that grace late night television. This is a purely financial decision against a challenging backdrop in late night, and it's not in any way related in any way to the show's performance, content, or other matters happening at Paramount. So Colbert addressed it with the live audience tonight. However, we don't have any word on what he said or his on-air reactions. So, of course, a couple of things to look at here, right? The Paramount Trump settlement, obviously a big thing here. Colbert came back from vacation and called it a big fat bribe, and just lambasted. Let's hear a little bit about what he had to say.
Who has always been a proud employee of this network, I'm offended. And I don't know if anything will ever repair my trust in this company. But just taking a stab at it, I'd say $16 million would help.
Instead, they canceled you.
Nice.
Yeah, right. So declining ratings. In the second quarter of 2025, Colbert's show averaged 2.42 million viewers across its first run episodes, marking a slight 1% uptick from the previous quarter, but part of a broader downward trajectory for late night as a whole. From the fourth quarter of 2023 to the first quarter of 2024, viewership dropped 9% overall, with an 11% decline in the 18 to 49 demographic. By the second quarter of 2024, those numbers slipped further to about 2.35 million viewers and a 0.40 demo rating, down 2% and 9% respectively. Early 2025 saw minor recoveries, with first quarter averages at 2.4 million and a 0.38 demo, but the second quarter held steady at 2.42 million, while the demo edged down to 0.37. So basically, guys, in the advertising demo, they only had like 370,000 people watching. May 2025 was particularly tough, with a 5% drop in total viewers from April and a steep 20% decline in the demo share to a 3.7. Industry-wide, late-night audiences have plummeted by 32% in recent years, with competitors like The Tonight Show and Jimmy Kimmel Live facing similar pressures. Some attribute Colbert's dips to post-election viewer fatigue, intensified political polarization that may alienate conservative audiences, and rising competition from Fox shows like Gutfeld. So yeah, guys, Stephen Colbert, you know, one of late night's heavy hitters, and he's done. He's done. But, no, but he's one of the big three, you know, because you've got him, you've got Fallon, you've got Kimmel, and then you've got Seth Meyers kind of like petering around.
Yeah, the big three that no one watches. Listen, they kind of hinted. We knew this was coming, right? They've all but confirmed that Kimmel's out of here when his contract's done, which is roughly around the same time as Colbert's going to be canceled. The networks are hemorrhaging money; they can't afford this nonsense. Some of it is, a result of their own bad behavior, but also too when you look at the demo, once you get below 500,000, you are not in any metric. There are not enough people in the demo side, in the demo to actually sample. So you don't have enough people to actually advertise to be at that point. So the fact that they let this go on this long is absurd in unto itself. But this is Skydance going, you don't trust us, fine, you can go. I also I think personally that the tirade that he went on just the other day was just to set the stage so that they could fire him and he could leave with his integrity intact.
Oh, so you think that this was all a setup? Like him and Paramount were working together to be like, you're going to walk out with your middle fingers in the air,
or at least I think he knew it was coming, so he decided to do something where he could leave with some moral high ground. I don't think Paramount, everyone forgets, Viacom and CBS do not like each other. They do not get along. They never have. They never wanted to be remerged, and they hate the fact that that this happened again. But so there's no love lost there. But I'm sure he knew this was coming. This wasn't a shock to him, and I think he used it as an opportunity to grandstand and create the appearance that he gets to leave on his shield.
That makes sense. Now, I am not very familiar with Gutfeld. I think I've watched one of his segments because he ripped Howard Stern to shreds, and anyone who rips Howard Stern to shreds, I'm all for. Yeah, I invented everything, Robin. But what is? Does he not have like the guests, like the celebrity guests and stuff like that? Is it all just analysis?
He's a conservative on Fox News. He's not going to get Hollywood guests. He does have guests occasionally, but he has a panel. It'd be like us if we were all together on a fancy set.
So is it more like Bill Maher? Like not like Bill Maher, but like this Bill
Maher used to be back when he was doing Politically Incorrect.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Something.
Yeah, Lauren's right, or Kevin's right that it would be like this if we could also get Dean Cain.
Mm-hmm. Lauren,
you're completely fading out, man.
Are you surprised by this? Did you see this coming?
You're going to have to repeat that.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. So Lauren, are you surprised by this? Did you see this coming? And what do you think this is the only late night show that's going to have these issues?
No, but I do think that it's probably going to be temporary because you're going to need this kind of show. It's a cultural staple. People expect you to have some type of a late night thing. The problem is that what makes these guys not funny is that they don't know how to laugh at themselves. And if you can't laugh at yourself, eventually you just become, I mean, if you forgive the language, you're just a prick. You're a guy that's just being mean to the other side. You're not,
Right.
That's not funny. What made somebody like a Johnny Carson funny was not only that, boy, did that guy have a fast wit, but he took equal gentle aim at everybody. There's a type of humor that's just mean-spirited when you're trying to make the other side look like a fool, whether that's the reality or not. And then there's the kind of humor that points out your foibles, the ones that you know about, that if you're friends with somebody, you laugh about them yourself because you recognize, yeah, this is a character flaw I've got, and I recognize it. That's the fun kind of humor. These guys have none of that, and after a while, it just becomes off-putting. They're no longer pleasant to be around.
It was also clear that Carson was shot after a few 3-martini lunches often.
Yeah.
But I would say that I think Kimmel is not going to get renewed. I think that, and I think he's already said he's not going to do another contract, or that he doesn't think he's going to do another contract. But I cannot see NBC getting rid of the Tonight Show.
No, I mean, you want to talk about an institution, and I think of all of them that you're talking about, to me, Fallon is the least objectionable. He's no Carson. He's not even a Leno, but it is an institution, and eventually you'll find somebody to fill that role again. But it has to be somebody that is not just making politics out of everything. You've got to laugh at life and yourself and be interesting and make your guests interesting. And that's not an easy thing to do. Carson was a master at it.
I have a rule against watching even a single second of Jimmy Fallon because I hate him and I don't think he's funny. But does he lean as heavily into the politics as Colbert and Kimmel do?
No, I don't think so. What really ended up, he started taking fire because he sort of humanized Trump way back when. And
I remember when he ruffled his hair and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he started leaning more into the political stuff, I think, to kind of save his own hide. But he's never been, I don't think, a true believer in that. I think he would rather be a guy who's kind of in the middle. But I agree with you. He's not, there's some of his bits that I laugh at, but it's not like I would have back in the day when you had the Masters doing this stuff.
Fallon is less a political animal and more a symptom of Lorne Michaels taking over NBC comedy.
Yeah.
On the topic of Fallon, like if we finally give him the axe, can we please, God Almighty, get rid of the Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal? Can that day finally come?
I would rather ride the Fast and the Furious ride at Universal Orlando than ride that Jimmy Kimmel ride, that Jimmy Fallon ride.
Let me throw out something that's kind of funny. What if they got rid of all of these guys and they all had to fight over, can we get Conan O'Brien?
Oh my gosh. That would be, I'll tell you who's not getting them, and that's NBC.
You know what, though? It's like people love Conan, and he's pretty much a straight guy who got screwed over, and he's genuinely funny. He's got the qualities. Wouldn't that be something if they actually started the bidding war to try and bring him in and say, let's revamp our whole late night thing, put him in charge? I'd be interested to see what would happen if he threw his hat into the ring.
My dark horse is Shane Gillis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Conan. I think Conan is fun because Conan doesn't do politics. He is staunchly opposed to it. That's why he was such a good host of the Oscars, because he didn't do any. He didn't sit there like Jimmy Kimmel reading Trump's tweets live on the air. He actually did, comedy. He actually had like observational humor. And when he would do his show, he would have things like characters. Triumph the Insult Comic Dog comes from Conan O'Brien.
Right.
Some of the greatest, the Triumph at the was it episode 1 he was at the premiere of, or was it like which Star Wars did he go to?
It was episode 1, I think.
Yeah.
I love that. I love the one where he goes to a Bon Jovi concert and like talks to all the tailgaters.
Oh yeah, and that was the one where Bon Jovi was using Triumph on their behind the stage passes, and he threatened to sue them. Like he sued or like pets.com sued him.
I loved that he's sitting there talking to somebody and somebody walks behind him and just goes, "Yeah, Max Weinberg," and Triumph turns around and goes, "Max Weinberg gets a bleep hole." Like just yells it back at the guy. I love Robert Smigel is so like quick. The other amazing one is who's the guy the really like wholesome guy from 30 Rock?
Oh, that guy. I can't remember his name.
Oh, what is his name? The chat'll know. But they send him to this hot dog place in Chicago where the whole thing is that like the staff are just like these black people that scream at you and like berate you. And like they berate him and yell at him and he leaves and he comes back with Triumph. And Triumph goes like this girl, he goes off on this girl. And I have never, she says something to him and he goes, nothing gets past you, especially carbohydrates. Jack McBriar, that's it. There's Jack McBriar and Triumph. And oh my gosh, it's amazing. Go out of your way to find that one. But it all comes from Conan.
I like Martin's choice of Shane Gillis, although I don't want to see him do the talk show circuit yet, because I think he's got more stuff out in the field to do before he takes on that kind of role.
The reason I say Gillis. Oh, go ahead, Lauren. Sorry. Don't want to step on you.
My dark horse, I think, would be Nate Bargatze, or however you pronounce his last name.
Bargatze. Yeah. Now he's not going to do it because he's going to become a theme park. I was going to say Maven, but that's a lady.
What's that about?
Well, he's starting a theme park.
What?
Oh, is he?
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure that park place. We at least kicked around the idea of covering that one.
Well,
we covered that he's hosting the Emmys, but I don't think we covered that he's running a theme. We got definitely talk. I know that he's a big Walt guy.
Yeah, he's a huge fan of Walt Disney, and he used to. I think he used to work at Opryland, and so he has a passion for theme parks. He has bought some land in around Nashville, but certainly in Tennessee, where he's opening a theme park with studios for production.
Well, if that's the case, let's get him and put him on our talk show. We'll make him the host.
Yeah,
here.
for real.
Yeah.
His stand-up, I probably watch his stand-up more than any other stand-up. It's clean. It's it never gets political because I'm pretty sure he's conservative. And it's self-deprecating humor. And that is, in my opinion, the best humor is people that make fun of themselves. And it's a thing that people like Colbert could never do in a million years because they, like you said, they take themselves entirely, and Kimmel too. Like they take themselves entirely too serious.
You should. I know we talked about it a while ago, but I wish we had that clip of Clint Eastwood eating Kimmel alive on his show.
Did he?
Oh yeah, Kimmel tried to pop off and be like, with all your power, you should have done more for women. You've mistreated them. Don't you think we need to apologize? At first, Clint Eastwood got quiet because he needed to get his thoughts together. And then he was like, I have been making movies longer than you have been alive. I've directed women to Oscars, worked with people of every color, told every story from every point of view imaginable. And not once have I ever not treated me like they were a human. He's like, it's like you're only famous because you make fun of people, you make fun of women's looks, you degrade them, and you're mean to everybody you come across. You've created nothing. And Kimmel looked like he wanted to cry.
That's amazing.
And then he kept pushing back and
champion of women, Jimmy Kimmel. I found a clip from back when he was funny, where on the Man Show it was him and Carolla, and they did
was funny, and he was just
when Adam Carolla was funny and told him what to do. Yeah, they were doing a petition to end women's suffrage.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these women were coming up and they had no idea what women's suffrage meant. So they were signing it. And women's suffrage is the right to vote.
And I can remember Colbert and Kimmel sitting there at the table going, my wife, my sister, my mother, they all chose suffrage this last year. And I just don't understand it.
All right, guys. Let's get to some super chats. See what you guys have to say. Let's see. Cannon Barnes for $5 says, sorry, Marvin. I just got out of taking an exam. LOL, my X feed is a little bit behind. Hope you all had a great day, though. Hope you had a great day, too, Cannon Barnes. Thanks a lot for keeping me in the loop.
Hope that exam went well.
Yeah, seriously. OB Booty Bees and Bacon with Big B's for $2. I'm trying to see what is that Nolan in the in the thing hugging Sydney Sweeney?
Oh God, that is me.
Yay.
Thank you for that, all B. That was great.
Why are you the size of a 5-year-old child, though? For $2 says, what up, everyone? What up, everyone? I hope you are doing well. Good. Hope you're doing well too. All be booty bees. John Williams for $4.99 says, Lorne used to love doing his job, but doesn't anymore. This is Nolan's fault. So,
everything is Nolan's fault.
Oh, I see. Oh, it was no one's fault. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well then, problem solved.
John Williams also for $9.99 says, Chevy Chase told Carson that his show was so. After Chevy's own late night show failed, Carson called him to say, not as easy as it looks, is it? I like that story. Chevy is just, I think Chevy Chase is hysterical, but he is notoriously one of like the most wretched human beings on the planet.
I've heard that.
You've got, like, for Community to boot him the way they booted him, like, you have to be a terror on the set for that. XJ Cherokee Bear for $5 says, I would love to see Nick DiPaolo host a late night show. I mean, who would?
Yeah, they will not let Nick DiPaolo near a live mic.
Yeah. Cannon Barnes for $2 says, did Pro just call up another Pro show? Yeah, at 10:30 tonight, Apollo and I are heading over to Pro. We're going to be talking about the Colbert stuff over there with them. So there will be a Pro show at 10:30. But we got to move on to our next topic, guys, and that is the Phantasmic Four, or the Femtastic Four, as we're calling it tonight, because Sue Storm has been made the leader of the Fantastic Four in the comics right ahead of the film's release. Kind of weird. In the ever-evolving world of Marvel storytelling, the Fantastic Four, often hailed as the publisher's first family, is undergoing a notable transformation. With the relaunch of the Fantastic Four comic series and the impending release of the MCU's The Fantastic Four First Steps, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, is stepping into a more prominent role as leader of the team. The development has sparked discussion, and so here we go. In Marvel Comics recently launched Fantastic Four #1, written by Ryan North and illustrated by Humberto Ramos, making a fresh start for the team following events of previous arcs. The issue opens in a dystopian future where Doctor Doom has conquered the Earth, setting a high-stakes backdrop for the team's reunion battles. Amid this crisis, Sue Storm declares, I lead the team, positioning herself as the strategic and emotional core of the group. Now, historically, obviously, Reed Richards, a.k.a. Mr. Fantastic, has been the leader since the team's debut in 1961, written by Stan Lee and illustrated by Jack Kirby. Reed's scientific genius often drives the plot, while Sue, Johnny, and Ben all provide support. Now, Sue has occasionally stepped up in past comics, such as during John Byrne's 1980s run or in Reed's absences. This explicit shift has been criticized by some as abrupt and influenced by the upcoming film. There were also later stories where she led the team in Reed's absence. Critics argue that Reed's demotion feels off-panel and forced, potentially sidelining his scientific prowess in favor of Sue's emotional and tactical strengths. So here we see. Online discussions, including on Reddit, have highlighted concerns the change prioritizes modern narratives over established canon while feeding into Marvel's girl boss obsession. Defenders point to Sue's historical moments of command, but the timing near weeks before the MCU debut has fueled speculation of corporate ideological synergy over organic storytelling. And of course, we also have this abomination coming to us in this film. And that is also here because Julia Garner has dismissed the backlash to her casting as the Silver Surfer, saying, I'm just still going to do my job. Now, I don't have a problem with what she said here. She didn't attack the fans. She was just like, yeah, whatever. I got hired to do a job. I'm going to do it. She said, I'm just going to still do my job, she stated, addressing complaints from some fans who argue that the Silver Surfer should remain male, because, he should, because he's a male. She clarified that her character is Shalabal, a distinct figure from the comics, adding, also, it's Shalabal, so it's different. I hate this, concept of, well, it's not a gender swap, guys, it's just Shalabal. No, Shalabal is meaningless. Shalabal Silver Surfer is meaningless.
Yes.
Kevin, you're the Fantastic Four expert on this panel.
Oh, I know. Could you just... I'm so sad. I love Superman and the Fantastic Four, and this is what I've got. I've been waiting for so long for the Fantastic Four to get to the MCU, and I've got Fantastic Four. I'm assuming...
Fantastic Four.
I'm assuming that it's going to be, give me your boy, and they're gonna be like, no, I'm a girl boss, and because I'm a girl boss, you need to be a girl boss too, and you need to tell your oppressive, patriarchal man god that you're not gonna take his stuff, and we're gonna girl boss it together while Pedro stands here and makes us sandwiches. And then the movie's gonna end. I don't know. The Sue has always been the emotional core of the family. There's nothing new here. And yes, this is off-panel and forced because the people who work at Marvel, just like DC proper, are all under-talented people with no real life experience, most of them Hollywood rejects, hoping that they can create an IP that gives them the golden ticket to forever cash. Instead, we get a bunch of really boring titles, nothing but character assassination, and the worst part, a brazen disrespect for the work of everybody who has come before them because they don't like it and they think they can do better when they are woefully incapable of doing so. So of course, and I'm just so sad that Humberto Ramos has to waste his quirky talents on such substandard writing. / how many times are we going to do a dystopian future where Doctor Doom has taken over? We should have stopped doing this. There are two seminal Doctor Doom took over stories. One was a graphic novel where Doom takes over, gets all the heroes locked up, and he realizes that he's bored. So while he realizes that he's bored, Ant-Man gathers a couple of C-listers and defeats Doom. And at the end of the book, you find out that Doom let it happen so that the heroes could have an ego stroke. The other one is the conclusion of Doom 2999, where you find out that Doom put his consciousness in a total stranger to prove to, I can't remember who it was, to prove that to someone that no matter where Doom was, Doom would reign supreme. We don't need this stupid story anymore. It's been done better by other people. It's boring. Ugh.
Yeah, I hate and more as time goes on, I hate well, it happened in the comic excuse for things. Because now that is the thing that people are pointing to defend Sue as the leader, and they're using it to defend Shalabal. Well, it happened in the comic. Well, yeah, you know what? Harley Quinn farting as a superpower happened in the comic too. And just because there have been bad comic books in the past, and just because something happened in a comic book, Lauren, does not mean that it was good, right?
I agree, but I'm actually going to play devil's advocate here for just a minute. I get the resistance to Shalabal as the Silver Surfer, but I've got this feeling inside me. This movie is not taking place in the 616 universe, right?
Yeah, no, but the MCU is not taking place in the 616 universe either.
I thought that the MCU was 616.
Oh, they keep saying it, but it's obviously not true.
616, but
well, not the comic 616, but the MCU 616, right?
Yeah.
So I have a feeling we're going to get to see the male Silver Surfer in this. I don't know for sure, but I have a feeling that Norrin Rand is going to show up at the end of the movie.
I disagree with you, Lauren. I think that we are going to get the Silver Surfer's full origin with Shalabal. And then what's the point of doing it over again? You've already done a Galactus movie. You've already had the Silver Surfer with the same origin, but it's Shalabal instead of Norrin Rand. I don't see the purpose of going back and doing it again.
I'm not sure that they would make it a big plot point. I'm not saying that they would redo the origin with Norrin. I'm just saying that I suspect when they cross over that you're going to see him to indicate that we're in a different universe now. The other thing that I want to say, because I haven't had a chance to talk to you guys like this for a while, I liked Superman. And I went in not expecting to like Superman at all.
That's why you liked it.
And I was very pleasantly surprised. It's got problems. It's the rare movie. What I've found fascinating this whole week that I've been watching people talk about it is this is the first movie in my life where if you hate this movie, I understand. If you love this movie, I understand. If you don't know what to make of this movie, I understand. And it's the first movie that universally it's like I get everybody's opinions on it. I think the smart thing that they did, though, was they were not pushing a message. The movie is not about the plot. The movie's not about the story. The movie's about the characters. And what they did that was right. They got Jor-El wrong. They got the Kents wrong. But they got Clark right. And I was so happy to see him. That's the first time that I've gone to a movie in a long time where I came out and was genuinely happy. And I guess maybe it's made me a little more optimistic. I'm hoping maybe Fantastic Four is not going to be as bad as I think it's going to be. I'm really hoping that's the case because I liked Superman. So,
well,
there is one thing in the Fantastic. Sorry, Marvin.
Go ahead.
There's one thing in the Fantastic Four trailer that actually gives me some hope. Where when Reed tells the world that they refuse to give up their son to Galactus, I'm really hoping that the movie actually becomes the Fantastic Four versus the world, because the entire world. Oh, yeah,
I have not seen that in a trailer. Galactus wants Franklin.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't want to eat the planet.
Well, he wants to eat the planet, but he agrees to leave the planet if they give him Franklin.
Yeah, that makes sense given what Franklin.
Okay, yes, it does. Yes, it does. The more I think about it, the more.
Do you know why you didn't see the trailer? Because for the first time in over a decade, DC has completely and totally absorbed any and all media coverage, leaving Marvel in the dust.
When did this trailer come out?
Right around like a couple days before Superman, maybe a little earlier. But yeah, DC has totally dominated the media and news cycle like nothing we've seen before. Not since people realized that they should have been going to see The Dark Knight. No one is talking about Marvel right now.
Well, and this is the Superman media blitz has been just massive, and I'm legitimately shocked by that. Because Variety claims that it only spent $100 million on advertising. And I said, that is the most blatant lie I have ever heard in my entire life. There's absolutely no way. I was basically...
This is a lie.
No way this marketing campaign where they had a Superman floating above a building in London, where they took over Times Square, where this movie is everywhere you look. There is no
It's
way.
on dog treats, man. Dog treats.
Yeah. There's no way they only spent $100 million to advertise this movie. To be fair, the dog treats paid them.
Right. I was about to say that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they spent as much as we think. And the reason I say that is although Batman is more popular, Superman is amongst the most well-known IPs on the bloody planet. Like, there isn't a person alive who's been here for more than 3 years who does not know who Superman is and or Superman's story and most of Superman's supporting cast. It's not a hard sell, which is why this should be $1 billion movie, but they keep making stupid mistakes that chop off a couple $100 million here or there.
Well, I mean, that's another thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit, though, is that I feel like the media totally sabotaged this movie. They put out these stories that made it sound like the people were saying things they did not say.
Absolutely.
And that really made me angry when I actually went and saw the movie and saw what it was. The movie does have problems. There's no doubt about that. But what pleased me about it was that, one, I took my son to see it. And for most of the movie, he was looking over at me to see what I was thinking about it, because he wanted me to have a good time and he was thrilled that I was having a good time. And so he had a good time. And afterwards, he's at his mom's this week. He's been texting me asking, what was your favorite scene? Why did you like this? And telling me he wants to go see it again. I can't remember the last time my son said that he wanted to go see a movie again. So that's a fun thing. And at the end of it, it actually made me want to break out my comics and read a Superman comic, which is not something that I've done in a long time. And that to me was like, you know what? It didn't want to be anything more than a 2-hour diversion. It's not meant to be groundbreaking. It's not meant to push a message. It's supposed to be fun. And it was fun. And it was it was a breath of fresh air. It was the first time I felt like a movie wasn't preaching at me in I don't know how long.
When Jonas and Culture both liked this movie, I was like, I need to go see it again, because enough people that I respect have enjoyed this movie, and I need to see what I'm missing. So I went in again, and I still don't like it, but I hated it less. I was like, it's not the 2.5 out of 10 that I gave it. It's probably more a 4 or 5 out of 10.
Agreed.
It went up to being mid for me. Like it's kind of super meh, I think was what I saw people say about it. Because there is fun to be had. I agree. But I cannot get over the Jor-El thing. I can't get over it.
The problems with the movie are all James Gunn problems. But I think that the best parts of the movie are also James Gunn's strengths. And so I think the interesting thing to me is if he could rein in his worst excesses. He is so uncomfortable with focusing on one character, and he's also uncomfortable with sincerity. He has a hard time doing the earnest thing where he lets a scene breathe when it needs to. He has to undercut it with humor. If he could rein that in just 15%, I think this movie would have been even better than I think it is. I am actually excited to see, all right, this movie did make me want to see, all right, what do you got next? And so I didn't expect that.
But what we've got next is that atrocious Supergirl, which I have no interest in seeing.
I don't mean of the DCU movies. I mean, what do you got next for Superman? I want to see another Superman movie.
He's going to be in
Supergirl, right? What's that?
Is he? I mean, I would assume he's going to make an appearance. I think he's going to cameo in Peacemaker also, because James Gunn has been hyping a big cameo at the end of Peacemaker. But I don't know. So for me now, I have no desire to sit through this Supergirl, but I'm going to have to because work. But the real challenge, I think, in front of them right now is Batman. Because James Gunn, for Batman to succeed, James Gunn has to stay so far away from it. He has to just be the studio head and just greenlight the money and let the right person handle this. Because if he's wrong for Superman, he's beyond wrong for Batman.
Can I give you a funny take, something that I'd like to see?
Sure.
Put Andrew Klavan on it. Have him write a Batman story. Because there's a guy who does noir detective fiction. And I think, if you get past the capes thing, have him write a real detective story with Bruce at the center of it. That could be interesting.
Have you ever seen his movie, one he wrote, not, it was Shock to the System?
No, I was thinking of True Crime.
True Crime is great. Shock to the System is a Michael Caine dark comedy.
Oh, wait. Yes, I did. We did that for the Genre Guys. That was him?
Yeah, he wrote that. It's somebody else's book, but he loved the book so much, he adapted it for screen.
Yeah, we did that for the Genre Guys. I think the better part of a year ago.
Right. He's a guy that could actually weave humor into something, but not take away from the tension.
Yeah.
See, I originally the director was Andy Muschietti, and I thought that I covered a story a couple months back where it seemed like he might not be doing doing Batman Brave and the Bold anymore.
That was early. That was early Tooney Town.
Yeah, he might not actually be doing this anymore, but I think officially it's probably still labeled as him. But I actually thought he would be okay doing this because look, The Flash is a terrible, terrible movie. I don't blame him for that 100% because it was picked apart and put back together a million times. But I liked anytime Batman was on screen in that movie. I thought that he handled Keaton very well. I really liked the scene with Affleck, despite the fact that he was out in the middle of the day.
That costume was awful.
I thought the costume was awful, but yes.
So let me throw something else at you then, since we're talking about who we'd want to write it. What if we got Ben Affleck's script that he wanted to write for the Batman that involved Deathstroke? If he just wrote it, if he wasn't playing it, but if he got to write the Batman that he wanted, how would you feel about that?
I would love that.
That could work because that was later in Batman's career, and if they really want to force Damian into this thing, that would be a great story to kind of encapsulate the history of Batman. I'm sorry, Lauren, I had to say the name, but that's their plan.
From what I've seen with this Superman film, I'm not shocked at the fact that we are jumping in with a fully established Bat family. We're going to have Nightwing. We're going to have Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin. They're all going to be there.
Actually, because at this point in comics and where you want to take Batman's story, the old school rule of thumb was that Batman was just a couple of years older than Superman. But I think if we have a better understanding of how people train, so the skill sets that Bruce has, unless he left the manor at 8, he has to be in his very early 40s, and he has to have been operating in secret, and maybe Superman's 3 years in, you guys said in the movie, so. Maybe I think it's not, people don't really know that Batman exists until a couple years after Superman goes public. And people, so it's, I think it'd be smart to have a slightly older Batman. I have him in his very early 40s, and you can leapfrog some of the harder to explain things, like I would make Dick Grayson already Nightwing. This way, you don't have to.
Oh, absolutely.
Actually, you don't have to address the elephant in the room of. This grown man threw a 12-year-old into a room with a bunch of psychopaths and loaded weapons. With
Damian, it's more excusable because Damian is a trained ninja.
Yes. Damian is Ernie Reyes Jr. with swords.
I think that we get a 36-year-old Batman who had Damian with Talia at like 23. I'm not saying that's a good idea. I'm just saying I think that's
no. I agree. Listen. Batman is the closest thing you get to superhero James Bond. So, Bruce Wayne globetrotting, it makes sense. In reality, he should have come across Ra's al Ghul very early in his life. So why? Right,
because Ra's would be on the lookout, talent scouting for people like Bruce Wayne.
So I'm going to throw out something that we've talked about before, and this would be a departure for DC. What if we did Old Man Bruce turning it over to Terry? What if we did the transition to Batman Beyond?
I would love that, but it wouldn't fit into the DCU. I would love that as its own movie.
I'm not sure it doesn't fit in because remember in the prologue or the title crawl, metahumans have been on Earth for 300 years. And James Gunn doing his rule of 3 things. So if metahumans have been on Earth for 300 years, maybe Batman was active in the 90s, 80s.
But you can't do Batman Beyond with it when it's not Neo Gotham. You know, when it's not like the futuristic world of I don't.
Have you looked at the way people dress today? There are freaks out there, man.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think you're far off. We're doing a comic book movie, and in that,
my other thing. Well, I said about Metropolis multiple times about this movie is that if we're going to go the route of Lex Luthor has pocket dimensions and kaiju, just add water, kaijus and stuff like that, then I need Metropolis to be the city of tomorrow. It should have looked like there should have been the monorails. There should have been like
that's more of a Shelbyville idea.
Monorail.
Giant golf ball.
No, it should have been more of the futuristic Metropolis that we've gotten in the comics from time to time.
Well, I mean, that's where you start the second movie, is that after the destruction that was wreaked in this movie, you're going to find that Luthor gets off on a technicality, and to rehabilitate his image, he's going to do the philanthropist thing and rebuild Metropolis as the city of tomorrow.
Yeah. To be fair, at the end of the original Man of Story arc, when Lex gets taken down a peg, the part of how he redeems his public image is to pump the money into Metropolis, and you know, super hypes up Star Labs' budget with the secret Cadmus project, and turns Metropolis into the city of tomorrow. So there's room there, and I do think it's, you know, you guys know I have no love of the Batman, but the one thing the Batman did do well was make Gotham a character. So if they at least realize that, like, especially in DC, the cities are also characters. They're integral to how their heroes function. So, you know, if you're going to do Green Arrow, then you need, you know, if you're going to do Flash, you've got to make their cities, you know, kind of mesh with the character, you know, with the characterizations of the heroes, and they should stand out in terms of their, you know, their aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
I agree completely, Kevin. I cried like a baby in Man of Steel when that city died. That was such a sad moment. What a character.
I still don't understand why all those people were at work.
I mean, look, we are literally at the point in the Superman film where the kaiju is like rampaging, and Lois is literally sitting at her desk bored. This is clearly that kind of universe.
But that's one of the things that I kind of thought was charming about it, is that in this world, it's Tuesday. You know, this is just they're so used to this that it's like it's not even a thing anymore. Kaiju rampaging, we have gods showing up every other week. You know, so
right.
I didn't mind that so much.
I get that, but that was like joke number 538 where it shouldn't have been.
Again, you know, one of the things that shocked me about this movie is that the kaiju was one of the things that I was most nervous about. I didn't like it in the trailers, and it ended up being the thing that I liked the most in the movie, because that was where it showcased that Clark is the big blue Boy Scout doing everything that he can to not hurt this thing, rescuing a squirrel, getting swatted down to the ground, shaking his head and going, golly, you know, that's silly, but it's Clark, because that's the kind of guy he is. And I loved the fact that they got that about him.
Yeah, when I liked the movie, I really did like it. And the characterization of Clark, I thought was great. That
was mostly Cornsweat. Cornsweat embodied it. Like he was good.
And I'm told that Cornsweat asked so many questions on set that James Gunn had to shout at him a few times.
Yep. James Gunn cursed at him, yes.
Yeah. I finally got my 10-year-old to open up about what he liked about the movie and why he wouldn't tell me. He just had a lot of fun. He thought the action scenes were great. He liked that it was funny. And so, you know, I'm glad he enjoyed the movie. The reason he didn't tell me was he knew that I was uncomfortable with all the swearing and taking him to a movie that had it. So he didn't want to tell me because he was afraid I would be mad at him for liking a movie that had swearing in it.
Oh.
I swear, people, I am not that guy.
He's not Twitter people. He doesn't yell at people for liking a movie.
By the way, I just realized like the other day that Mr. Terrific, who I like in the film, that Mr. Terrific was
Darwin.
What do you call it? He was Darwin from X-Men First Class. I was like, oh wow, you got redeemed.
Yeah.
Yes. After killing Darwin in a way that should not have killed Darwin. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The guy whose power is literally that he can't die is the one that gets killed. But yeah, I was like, wow, man, you redeemed yourself. And I mean, they announced immediately a Mr. Terrific HBO Max series, which I was like, yeah, that tracks. But then they also announced a Jimmy Olsen series, and I was like, who wants this?
What?
I don't know. There was a Jimmy Olsen comic book for years.
Sure, yes, I'd say if depending on what these, because there have been a couple of actually really good modern Jimmy Olsen runs, and Jimmy Olsen is the reason why we have the New Gods.
But
can you elaborate?
Oh, sure. When Kirby decided that he had enough with Marvel, DC was like, yes, you're Jack Kirby, we want you, but we do not know what to do with you. And they didn't want to disrupt the creative team that they had at Superman. So he was like, listen, I'll take anything. I'll take Jimmy Olsen. And they're like, are you sure no one reads this book? He's like, don't worry about it, I got it. And as soon as he jumped into Jimmy Olsen, he introduced the Forever People, and then started planting the seeds for the New Gods, and then had Darkseid debut, and boom, now we have Darkseid. And then from that, because Jimmy Olsen was selling like hotcakes, they decided to let him. They gave him a New Gods title.
So hold on a second. We got a big super Regina Sharp for $50. The only Jimmy Olsen series we needed was Special Unit 2. I don't understand that reference. Can someone explain that to me? Kevin?
Oh, hold on a sec. Sorry. I got a mountain people person thing.
Oh.
Special Unit 2 was if she's talking about the same thing, I think there was this show on UPN that was like a science fiction comedy.
Okay.
It was pretty good. I liked it.
It had the first season Jimmy Olsen in it.
Oh, okay. Yep, that makes sense. I didn't like this Jimmy Olsen though. This wasn't Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen. This was like James Gunn thought it was funny if he just had this nebbishy looking dude and like every hot woman wanted to bang him. It was one of those James Gunn jokes that just I just was like, I don't get it. I don't get why this is funny.
It's funny because it's not funny?
I guess. Regina Sharp, thank you very, very much. We appreciate you. And you know what? I haven't gotten to play the thank you clip yet. So let's play a little thank you clip. Thank you very much, Regina Sharp. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want this Jimmy. Again, it's like I have no problem with a Supergirl movie. I don't want this Supergirl in a movie. I'm willing to give it a shot because Jason Momoa is Lobo, the character he always should have been playing. I'm all for that. I don't, and it's got Tom King's fingerprints all over it, and
it's like King's story.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like that. But now, so James Gunn has said, he said that somebody was like, well, when's Superman 2? And he goes, define Superman 2. And then he said they're building to something, but it's not what you think it is, which I think means it's not a Justice League movie, which I'm like, oh no. Are they jumping right into a crisis?
I don't think so. But remember, this movie was supposed to have the Authority in it, and he plucked them out. I think we're going to get a Reverse Kingdom Come, which I think everybody thought we were going to get in this movie. So I think you've got this characterization of Kara for two reasons. One, I think that they're going to try to make her iconic for a certain group of people, but I think
yeah, I get what you mean.
But I also think that you're going to need you need people to contrast against Corn Sweat's Superman. So I think we're going to keep coming across heroes who probably aren't the typical Justice League members, who skew away from those classic ideals.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got kind of sidetracked into a Superman conversation when we were talking about the Fantastic Four, and one thing we do have to point out, circling back, is that they have said that Reed Richards, who is not even the leader of the Fantastic Four in his own movie, will be the leader of the Avengers. This is weird, because I can't think of a time where Reed was ever a major player in the Avengers.
It's not. The Fantastic Four, well, essentially all Marvel heroes are reserve Avengers, but it's just, it just means you get a key card. You get key card access to the mansion.
I think this means right away that they are done with this Captain Falcon America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can't crack the Doctor Doom story, and they realize that you can't have Doom without Reed. No matter what you do with the Tony Stark character. I really think they can't crack this story.
That tracks for me too, because I think that's true.
Yeah.
You have to have those opposing forces. That leads me to another sidetrack conversation, though. I think if it were me, I think I'd abandon what they're doing right now, and I would do an adaptation of 1602, because I think that would catch people way out of left field. I think you'd have to fix the ending of it, but you could have that big, huge cast that they want to have, but casting all of these characters in wildly different roles from what you're used to, but still uniquely those characters. I think that could be a heck of a lot of fun.
Does anybody agree with me that Reed's relationship to the Avengers should be, guys, I don't have time for your petty nonsense?
Yes.
Yeah.
And back in the day, that was kind of how, like, if Reed cameoed and, hey, we need help with this, he'd be doing like 5 things in the panel, but like, yeah, here's the explanation. I'm busy. Goodbye.
Well, look at the original Secret War, because we're going into Secret War. The original Secret War, you had the villains, obviously, in their own thing, but you had 4 very specific groups in Secret War. You had the Avengers, which included Spider-Man. You had the X-Men, and you had the Fantastic Four, and then you had Galactus. Those were your 4 groups that were basically like dropped into Battle World. So the Fantastic Four is not a part of the Avengers. It's weird. And for him to not even be the leader of the Fantastic Four in his own film, to then go on to leading the Avengers, which, again, they're done with this Sam Wilson experiment, I think. When that movie made no money, I think that was about it. But this is an unproven commodity. The Fantastic Four has never been a huge theatrical draw for them, and it's with a guy that people are just fatigued with, and they're betting the farm on him.
Why do people keep pooping on the early 2000s Fantastic Four? They're very much so a product of their time, but people.
I have no problem with those movies, but they weren't a major success. Like, the first one did well enough to get a sequel, but after that, I mean, Rise of the Silver Surfer was not good enough to get a sequel, and then you had Fan Four Stick.
Well, no one should talk about Fan Four Stick. That was just done so they didn't lose the rights right away. That was
so many Fantastic Four projects have been done for that.
Yes, that's very true. The poor first Fantastic Four movie, it had an ending that was so similar to The Incredibles that after The Incredibles got released, they had to do last minute reshoots to fix the end of the movie.
Well, and also apparently they were like so impressed with what Pixar had done with Elastigirl, and they were like, "Oh wow, Reed Richards doesn't do anything like that."
I never saw Fan Four Stick, but it was based off of the Ultimate Fantastic Four, wasn't it?
Yes, which is why the movie also never should have been made.
But it also
I was going to ask
featured-
you that. See, I liked Ultimate Fantastic Four. I wanted to get your take on it to see what you thought of it.
I liked
I didn't
it
mind
up
Ultimate.
until-
I didn't mind Ultimate Fantastic Four.
I liked it I don't remember what issue I fell off, but I fell off shortly after they introduced the Marvel Zombies.
Okay, so I never made it that far. I got through the first two collected trade paperbacks.
Well, I
If
like
you
the
run-
idea of Reed becoming a supervillain because I've always felt that Reed is like a minute away from being a supervillain.
Well, I think the Council of Reeds points that out.
Yeah.
But if
all
you-
of them having their Infinity Gauntlets.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it's the Reed. Well, I guess the lesson is our Reed is so different because he embraced his family,
right?
And the other Reeds get kind of lost in their intellect. But that harkens all the way back to when Reed first showed up, because that's what Reed's character was. He was the dad from A Father Knows Best. He just kind of came in and was like, "Where's my gin and martini? I'm going to work. Then don't bother me." And then Sue was just this doting, timid little thing, and Johnny and Ben were the kids making a mess in the backyard who were going to get a lecture soon.
Yeah, Martin, you were trying to make a point. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Oh, it's okay. I was just saying that the Fan Four Stick was Ultimate Fantastic Four run through a Cronenberg movie about body horror.
Was it in Ultimate Fantastic Four? Wasn't Galactus like Galactus was his name or something like that? Like he had like 3 names, or there were like 3 entities or something like that. I don't remember. It was something weird. Galactus was weird in the Ultimate Universe. I don't hate the Ultimate Universe the way some people do. I thought
it's an abomination.
I know. You've been using the word abomination for 20 years about that universe. I really liked the first like stretch of Ultimate Spider-Man. That is one of my favorite Spider-Man stories. I really like. I don't love what they did with the Goblin. I don't like that the Goblin was like the Hulk, basically. But I liked most of the other changes that they made with things. But yeah. All right, guys. So we have got to get to some super chats, and then we have got to move on to our last story before we have to end for the night. Let's see. Anthony J for $5 says, today I had to explain to a coworker what the California raisins are. I feel so old. I love the California raisins. That's something I haven't thought about in a long time.
So they had a very short-lived cartoon. Did they have a rival band, or is that just something I made up in my head?
I don't remember a rival band.
I never saw the cartoon, but now I'm going to have to.
Like
They almost had a video game, but it was canceled.
A sleazy promoter? Sorry, Nolan.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
In the video game, the California Raisins, The Grape Escape for the NES, the California Raisins rival band is named the Wild Bunch. The game's plot revolves around the Wild Bunch kidnapping the California Raisins, and the player's goal is to rescue them.
The reason that game you're referring to, Marvin, was canceled is because I guess Capcom Japan caught wind that the American team was working on it without like the permission or whatever, and they're like, "Nope, done."
Oh, this game looks awesome. I'm just like looking at some of like the screenshots and stuff of what it would have been. But Ryan Damon, member for 5 months, says Arn Anderson put them all in their place this week. Who did Arn Anderson put in their place?
The Fantastic Four. They posted a picture like this, and Arn had some words for them.
I did see them do that, and when I saw them do that, I died a little inside. So
Also,
I'm glad.
I was like, where's Sony? Where's Sony Japan with that kind of energy for Sony America?
Thank you, Kevin. You made my night.
All right, guys, moving on. Speaking of gaming, we have got a game-adjacent story here tonight. Nintendo reveals Zelda and Link casting for the live-action Legend of Zelda film, and it is not Hunter Schafer.
Oh, man, baby.
In a highly anticipated announcement that has sent waves through the gaming and film communities, Nintendo legend and Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto revealed casting for the lead actors for the upcoming live-action adaptation of The Legend of Zelda. The film, a collaboration between Nintendo and Sony Pictures, will feature Bo Bragason as Princess Zelda and Benjamin Evan Ainsworth as Link. So here they are. This is your two. This is your Zelda and your Link. I gotta say, they look like Zelda and Link.
Yeah, I didn't think they'd be able to find an actor that actually looks like that stern, stoic face that Link makes in Ocarina of Time, like that really square face. Like, I gotta give credit to that. Like, good choice here.
My one thing with him as Link was I was like, his face is a little boxy. It's not like long like Link's is, but that is such a minor thing compared to what it could have been.
It's Nintendo
just like the games.
Yeah.
It's
whoever asked his Navi to keep saying, "Hey."
Hey,
now, my question is, what are they doing? Are they doing Ocarina of Time, or are they going right into like Breath of the Wild? Because they're
doing the CDI games.
Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, they'll be doing Wand of Gamelon.
All right, I don't think no one's being serious.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm kidding. It's the really bad ones. Like, no,
you're making jokes that only you get.
Oh, come on, guys! Remember the 2008 YouTube memes? That was all over the place. Come on, guys, you know better. But no, I think realistically speaking, here, Ocarina of Time is the poster child. I think they're either going to go for Ocarina of Time or they're just going to do something entirely new. Like, even as huge as Breath of the Wild is, Nintendo doesn't usually like to borrow from something like 5 to 10 years old for like a big adaptation. So I think they're going to go for kind of a little bit of sprinkle of Ocarina of Time, but I think we're going to get something a bit more wild here. I think we're getting something new.
You know, it's a Legend of Zelda game, or Legend of Zelda story that nobody finished would be Zelda 2. So they could tell that story. And the players would actually get to know how it ends.
But
now here's my question.
You can't do that because then the game would instantly have to end at Death Mountain because ain't nobody doing that. Link's gonna die in a horrible fashion.
my question now is, you've cast an unknown as Zelda and an unknown as Link. Now, I will say the thing you might know Link from, he was the voice of Pinocchio in the live-action Pinocchio that Disney did that no one saw.
What?
He was the voice of Pinocchio. Do you cast a name actor to play Ganondorf?
Yes.
No.
Do it old school. The villain was old.
Or do you go or do you go Ganon? Do you go Ganon or Ganondorf?
Both.
Yeah.
Do an Ocarina of Time. Have him transform at the end of the movie. I think it'd be fun.
That's how I prefer it too. But I mean, like, who's your dream cast for Ganondorf? Mine, I think like Idris Elba as Ganondorf would be awesome.
I was thinking Mark Strong.
If he was still alive, Tim Conway.
Tim Conway. Like Dorf on Golf? Ganondorf on Golf.
Oh, goodness. By the way, Ganondorf's gonna have to be a black guy, like, or an Arab guy. So just point that out, guys. But obviously the controversy here was that prior to the official announcement, the film was shrouded in speculation, with one particularly persistent rumor suggesting that Hunter Schafer, a trans actor known for roles in Euphoria and Cuckoo, was being eyed for the role of Princess Zelda. Yeah, here's the thing. People are like, oh, Hunter Schafer looks like Zelda. I'm just like, this is not cosplay. This is a movie role. Like,
there is no controversy unless you're a weirdo.
Yeah, well, so the rumor surfaced in May because of Daniel Rickman, aka Daniel RPK, who claimed that Schafer was being eyed for the part. Now, that Park Place exclusively revealed on May 30th, 2025, that these casting reports were unfounded rumors that were propagated by Schafer's own agents and a PR firm as a promotional tactic rather than stemming from any genuine interest by Nintendo or Sony. Now, this basically put it to bed, essentially. I don't know if Daniel RPK was taken in by this or if he was willingly trying to perpetuate that rumor. But that should have been the end of it. No one should have gotten mad, right? Well, gender activists lash out over Hunter Schafer not being cast as Zelda in live-action Legend of Zelda film.
Like I said, weirdos. No one cares. If she was being eyed for this part, like how Leslie Nielsen eyed Anna Nicole Smith in Naked Gun 33 1/3.
Mm-hmm. So, still, no, by the way, there were a lot of really vile things about in here that I did not feel comfortable posting on that Park Place. So still no Hunter Schafer Zelda is unfortunate. Why isn't Hunter Schafer Zelda? Literally, don't piss me off, Nintendo. Hunter Schafer Zelda, I will avenge you. There's even a person, there's a trans woman who ran for Congress in Massachusetts who has posted about this non-stop, like in a full-on meltdown. Like, I don't understand. Like, this was never going to happen.
I know, but
look at how.
And that's the $1 million thing right there, Marvin, is she brings baggage. Does she look like Zelda? I personally think yes, she does. And I bet she's probably a talented actor. But here's the thing. She just brings too much baggage because here she is. She didn't even get the role. And people are already putting out disgusting insults to each other online over the potential. Could you imagine if this went through?
And attacking the girl who got cast as Zelda because it's not this person.
Listen, the problem isn't the baggage, it's the package. This was never going to happen.
Yeah. LK pointed out, oh God, Brianna Wu picked up on this just when he's been tacking back toward the center. He's a grifting, scamming lunatic. Yeah, I bookmarked all the tweets because I was thinking about writing an article on it, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to give this person a platform.
No.
But yeah, I mean, gosh. Like I said, you look enough like Zelda to do some kind of cosplay at a convention, sure. Not in the movie. I'm sorry. Like, it's think about how safe Nintendo played it with Mario. How particular Nintendo was about every aspect of Mario, and then Mario made $1.3 billion. They're not going to all of a sudden be like, yeah, sure, roll the dice on Zelda, our second biggest franchise.
And when they're going to do something radically different for, with it being in live action.
Mm-hmm. I don't understand. I don't understand the obsession that the other people use the phrase the Rainbow Mafia has with commandeering every fictional character. In the last week, I have had to deal with Zelda and Link are gay icons. Superman is a gay icon. Pennywise from It is a gay icon. Like, come on.
What?
Oh, they said it.
The one who lures children into the sewer is a gay icon.
Correct.
Okay. I am just going to have to take their word for that one.
That's like they've said Chucky is a trans icon because he's trapped in the wrong body or something like that. Like, it's just like guys, why do you have to see yourself in everything? Like, I don't understand the need to commandeer things and be like, this is ours now. It's not yours anymore. Like, no,
I think a lot of it is, I have good ideas, Dad.
Yeah.
If they really want to see themselves that bad, they do know this thing called a mirror exists, right?
I mean, look, I don't like the idea of this Zelda movie to begin with. I don't think that giving Link a personality or a voice works. So it's already not going to feel like Zelda to a lot of people because it's not going to feel like Link.
Yeah, but Hollywood's been making heroes without personalities for a long time.
Yeah, but
let's also remember the Zelda cartoon. You know, there's a reason a lot of people made fun of it is because how much of a departure it was from what we know Link as. They have never succeeded at giving Link a voice ever, and there's so much interpretation that goes into the world of Zelda, its lore, and its timeline. And you are playing with fire with this movie because to a lot of people who aren't into that, you know, medieval fantasy, to the more of the normies out there, this is going to be their exposure for The Legend of Zelda. It's not like Mario, where there's been a few movies prior to that with the anime and the 90s film. They really got to hit this thing out of the park, and it's dangerous to go alone. They better take some good weapons with them.
Mm-hmm. I just, and also, if you were gonna do a Zelda movie, it should be animated. It shouldn't be live action. It's not Lord of the Rings. It's not Game of Thrones. It's not gonna be this big. It shouldn't be this big epic live action thing. It's cartoony. It's Gorons and Zoras and you know, like and fairies and kokiris
and breaking into people's houses and breaking their pottery.
Yeah, attacking a chicken and then dearly paying for it. I don't like the idea of having to. I just don't like the idea of doing this movie. I think it's a bad idea. If you were going to do it, you could have done it animated. You could have had Universal do it, and you could have had the Nintendo Cinematic Universe. And now we're not going to get the Nintendo Cinematic Universe, or at least not in a complete way.
I do think that of all their franchises, the one that should have been live action and may still be would be Metroid.
Star Fox.
I think that's great for live action. But
yes,
if they can pull this off, they'll actually do what Disney with Marvel always said they were going to do and create these distinct movies with different feels. It's not a comic book movie. It's a political thriller that happens to star Captain America. But then when it comes out, it's just another MCU movie, a particularly good MCU movie in case of the Captain America stuff, but just standard fare. If Nintendo can pull this off, Mario is radically different from Zelda, and they can build on those, and it's something nobody else has been able to do with their IP.
Right.
Given Martin's comment about a Metroid movie before we move on, because I think this is the one chance I'll ever have to say that before we actually get a proper announcement. This is the one time that our meme about casting Sydney Sweeney and everything would actually be relevant. Just saying.
She'd be a great Samus, but then you have to cover her up in that suit for the entire movie.
Cover up. It's not much cover there.
Not if she gets more than 97% of the quest done.
I guess that's true. Lauren, was Zelda ever a thing for you?
No, I was not really a fan of the Zelda games. My son got into them. I was more of a Contra Castlevania kind of guy. But once I finally got a computer, I left the Nintendo way behind. So this is one of those that I can't really participate in all that much.
I understand. But who does want to participate? Our audience. Let's see. Regina Sharp for $5 says, it's almost like this Hunter person was never under real consideration at all. No, it was all smoke and mirrors. It was all just like Hollywood nonsense. It was all agencies and PR firms all being like, it is the scene from Muppets Take Manhattan where Kermit has the rats go underneath all the tables and be like, oh my God, that's Kermit the Frog. He's got a new show called Manhattan Melodies. It's that scene. Because that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to get Hunter Schafer's name out there, and it worked. I didn't know who Hunter Schafer was before this. Now I do. I'm sure Hunter Schafer is a very nice person, but not Princess Zelda. Regina Sharp also for $5 says they are doing the old Friday cartoon version anyway. Well, excuse me, princess.
I was going to make that joke.
If only. Regina Sharp also for $20 says, in lieu of the rant I had about trans gay activists I deleted, PC babies, anyone? I love that. I love the PC babies. It's one of my favorite things South Park has done. Andre Adams for $9.99 says, I know I'm late. I just got back from the Red House.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
There you go, Lauren. You thought you weren't going to hear it this week, but there it is.
I am pleased.
All right, guys. Well, we are about to end because we've got to get over. Kevin and I have got to get over to the pro show to talk about the Stephen Colbert stuff. So, Nolan Thunder, tell the fine folks at home what you've got going on, including your own channel, That Game Place as well. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, good sir. So, I've been editing tirelessly this video of evil personalization AI found within a trivial copy of Super Mario 64. I'm at the over a year time period of being in production of this episode, and unlike right now, I actually know how to talk in the video. Mr. Lauren Connor here has a great vit, and he's probably sent me back a good month or two working on that, but it's gonna be great. And I'm pretty excited for what the future holds, so be on the lookout for it. Should hopefully be coming out in the coming weeks. But if you want to hear more gaming opinions and more of the news, we're going to be covering a lot of great stories over on That Game Place, the gaming division of That Park Place. It'll be at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time this Saturday. We're going to be covering a bit more of the Zelda chaos going on with this live-action movie, more speculation on what could be unfolding aside from just what the trades and the major media headlines are saying right now. And we're also going to be covering a bit of that crazy Ubisoft stuff and pulling from our wonderful editor-in-chief and his work on That Park Place. So thank you very much, Marvin, as always, for getting a chance to plug it.
Oh, good luck, buddy, because it has been a slow gaming news week. I have been fishing for gaming news stuff, but I mean, you had the Zelda thing. Right. You've got Assassin's. Their Netflix just greenlit the Assassin's Creed live action series, which while Ubisoft is circling the drain, then you have the Ubisoft nepotism situation that's going on right now. So yeah, there's still going to be quite a bit to talk about when That gameplay. Nintendo trying to brick systems of people who play used games. So yeah, there is stuff to talk about.
I took a spin on that. I took Pink Floyd's Another Brick in the Wall, and I edited the thumbnail as Another Switch in the Wall. I was really proud of that pun.
Martin Stone, where can the fine folks find out more about you and what you are up to?
Well, no Lost Guys episode for That Park Place this week because Hangry is in the middle of a bunch of actual real world stuff and can't hang out and do the silly things we do. But that T3PO, we were delayed last week in getting out our video on Billy Squire. That's up now. And come find out about a multi-platinum artist whose one bad video may or may not have been what ruined his career.
Interesting. All right. Well, Lord Connor, you've got a late night show that's going to be debuting soon. And just as you are about to launch, CBS cancels Stephen Colbert, clearly out of fear. Tell the folks about what you've got going.
It's fate. We're going to be starting a show here on the 25th with me and Kevin Apollo. It's going to be late night with Lauren and Kevin, and I'm a little nervous about it, but hope you all join us and have a lot of fun.
You're going to do amazing, buddy. Kevin Apollo, the House of Apollo, is coming up quickly. What do you got going on?
Oh, I didn't have volume on, so I have no idea if you're talking to me or not.
I was. Yeah, I was saying, what do you got going on?
I don't think stuff. I'll be hanging out with Lauren soon, though. 25th, right? Got that right? I watched Kingdom with a Crystal Skull today, so just because of you.
Oh, well, good.
Good
you're getting
movie.
all. Have you got through the scripts yet?
I'm halfway through the first one. It's been hard, but I have to say this: I thoroughly enjoyed Kingdom with a Crystal Skull more now I've had some time away from it. I think I was a little hard on it at the, but I wasn't as hard as because I enjoyed it, but I found myself enjoying it more now that I've had some time away from it.
You know what? I may have to revisit that as well if you guys are both saying this. So, all right. Well, thank you to everyone tonight who chatted, everyone who super chatted. We appreciate all of you guys, and make sure to keep it here on Tooney Town TV for more amazing content dealing with all things pop culture. And make sure you go to thatparkplace.com every single day for all of your entertainment news. We are sending you to the pro show, which should already be in progress with the intro video playing. So when you get there, guys, just make sure you let them know it's a Tooney Town raid. And we will see you over there. Kevin and I are heading over there right now. So from all of us here at the Tooney Town channels, I'm Marvin the Movie Monster. Now get out of here!
Now, Perry the Platypus, feel the wrath of my thank you-inator! Thank you, you piece of trash.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you!
Oh, I suppose you want me to say thank you. But you know what? Saying thank you is like jobbing. Thank you! I got a little message. Thank you. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, thank you! Oh, thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
Thanks? For what? Hi-ho from all of us here at Tooney Town. Thank you!
And viewers like you. Thank you.